Hey, I'm Adam Jusko, and this is Adam Answers, where we answer the burning and not so burning questions of the day. In this video, does Amazon drug test? That's what we're going to talk about. But before we do, I'm going to ask you to please subscribe to this YouTube channel if you have not already. And if you have already, I thank you for doing so. So the question is, does Amazon drug test? And the answer is going to be, it depends. So if you are a new Amazon worker or a potential new Amazon worker, whether you get drug tested or not is going to depend on what type of job you're doing. It is different for a warehouse worker versus a driver versus someone working in a corporate office. So if you're coming into Amazon as a new employee in a warehouse, you are going to get drug tested. The form of that drug test is going to be a mouth swab that you're basically going to put in your mouth and kind of suck like a sucker. It's sort of like a distorted Q-tip in a way, and that is a saliva test for drugs. So if you are a warehouse worker coming in new, that's how you're going to get tested. You're not going to have a urine test. Now on the driver's side, it depends on what type of driver you are as to whether you will get drug tested. So if you work for Amazon as a full-time driver, technically what you're going to be doing is working for a delivery service partner of theirs. So you're going to be working for a separate company that contracts with Amazon, and you're going to be doing Amazon's deliveries all the time, but you're technically going to work for another company. And whether you get drug tested is going to depend on the policy of those companies. Now, if you look at the list of jobs out there from these delivery partners via the Amazon Jobs website, you will see that many of them do tell you that you should expect to be drug tested. Some of them do not say that in the job description because they are in different areas of the country and they all have their own different rules, but you should probably expect that you're going to get drug tested, and be happily surprised if you don't. Then just assume that you're not going to be, just because you don't see it on the listed job description. Now, if you're an Amazon Flex driver, someone who is using their own car to do some deliveries sort of as a side job, you're not going to get drug tested there. You are considered an independent contractor, not an Amazon employee when you do that. So since you're basically considered your own company, they're not drug testing you. Now, there will be background checks for any of these jobs, but there's not drug testing along with the Amazon Flex. Pretty similar to driving for Uber or Lyft. You're really a freelancer, an independent contractor, just working on your own, to some extent, on your own decision as to when you are going to work, and they treat you not as an employee, but as an independent contractor. If you work for Amazon on the corporate level, any sort of office job, my understanding is that none of them get drug tested. I have not heard of any situation where someone got drug tested as a new employee of Amazon working in an office for the corporation. Finally, if you are an Amazon warehouse worker, or maybe one of those other jobs where you do get drug tested, you might also wonder about random drug testing. So my understanding for the warehouse workers is that even though Amazon reserves the right to do random drug testing, it rarely, if ever, happens. And the only times that it seems like it ever does happen is if something actually happens on the job that makes Amazon question whether you may have taken some drugs. So if there's some sort of accident within a warehouse that would, call into question whether you had taken any drugs, or whether there was some other performance issue on the job that might make someone suspect, then it's possible you could get pulled aside for a random drug test. But otherwise, for the most part, I've not heard about people actually getting random drug tests from Amazon. So that's it. If you take drugs and you want to work at Amazon, those are the things to consider. If you have any questions or comments, put them in the comments section below. I would also ask you to subscribe if you would, and otherwise, we'll see you next time.